The dust from the police cruisers hadn't even settled when I saw her, Karen Whitfield, standing rigid at my ranch gate, phone pressed to her ear, pointing at me like I was some kind of criminal. Her wild gesturing caught the attention of the officers as they stepped out, hands instinctively resting on their weapons. I had just returned from visiting my father in Phoenix after his surgery, 18 days away, and here I was, surrounded by 3 squad cars on my own land. "That's him!" Karen shrieked into the phone, her voice shrill enough to spook the horses in the pasture. "The trespasser with the weapon! He's trying to break into the Riverside Ranch property!" I slowly placed my duffel bag on the ground, my palms up, clearly visible. The absurdity of the moment wasn't lost on me. For 2 years, Karen had been harassing me about my land. Now she was claiming I was illegally entering it? Let me back up. My name is Marcus Chen. I inherited Riverside Ranch, 120 acres of family-owned land on the edge of Willowbrook Estates, from my grandfather 5 years ago. It's beautiful. Wide fields, old oaks, and a view that developers would kill for. Unfortunately, the proximity to suburbia put me right in the crosshairs of Karen Whitfield, president of the Willowbrook HOA. From day one, she labeled my ranch an eyesore that lowered property values. 3 weeks before all this, I got the call. My dad had taken a fall and needed surgery. I secured the property, activated the alarm system, packed a bag, and made the 8-hour drive to Phoenix. His recovery was better than expected, so I returned a few days earlier than planned. I didn't tell anyone I was coming back. Why would I? But when I reached my gate, something felt off. There were fresh tire tracks. The electronic lock on my front gate looked different. When I entered my code, it didn't work. Then I saw it, a realtor's lockbox hanging from the gate. My heart dropped. I scaled my own fence and walked up the long gravel drive. That's when I saw them. Karen was standing on my front porch with 2 professionally dressed individuals, gesturing toward my house like a real estate agent mid-pitch. "And as you can see," she was saying, "the property has great bones. It just needs some updates to modernize it." She stopped cold when she saw me. "What the hell are you doing on my property?" I asked, managing to keep my voice level despite the fire building in my chest. The man in the navy suit blinked. "Miss Whitfield told us this was a distressed property sale, said the owner had abandoned it." "I am the owner," I said flatly. "And I've been gone for 18 days visiting my father. This property is not for sale and never has been." Karen's expression cycled rapidly from surprise to anger to entitlement. "I'm calling the police," she snapped. "You're trespassing on HOA-controlled property." "This land isn't part of your HOA, Karen. It never was, and you know it." But she was already on the phone, her voice rising into panic. "Yes, 911? There's a man threatening us. He has a weapon and is trying to break into a property at 1523 Ranch Road. Please send help." The potential buyers wasted no time. They all but ran to their Mercedes, wanting nothing to do with whatever this was. I stood there stunned. A weapon? I had my keys in a duffel bag. That's it. 10 minutes later, the cruisers rolled in fast. Officers stepped out, hands near their holsters. "Sir, we received a report of an armed trespasser," the lead officer said. "Keep your hands where we can see them." "My name is Marcus Chen," I replied calmly. "This is my property. I have ID and proof of ownership. That woman," I pointed to Karen, now faking fear, "has been harassing me for years. She broke in and tried to sell my ranch while I was out of town." "He's lying," Karen cried. "I'm the HOA president. This place was abandoned." The officer glanced between us, trying to make sense of the scene. "Sir, do you have documentation?" "My license has this address. The deed is in my car. And more importantly," I pulled out my phone, "I have security footage from the cameras I installed last year, after Karen started placing false violation notices on my mailbox." The footage spoke for itself. Video 1. Karen cutting the gate lock. Timestamped. Video 2. Her installing a new one and hanging the lockbox. Video 3. Karen leading people through my home, rearranging furniture, placing staging props, pretending she owned the place. The officer's demeanor shifted instantly. "Ma'am, I'm going to need you to step over here and explain what we're seeing," he said flatly. Karen's mask cracked. "I was trying to help. It was vacant. It's dragging down community values." "By breaking in and staging it for sale?" I asked, incredulous. The officer raised his hand. "Sir, can I see your license and deed?" I handed them over. After a quick inspection and radio confirmation, he called for backup. "We'll need a detective. This may involve fraud, illegal entry, and a false report." Karen turned pale. "You can't arrest me. I'm the HOA president. My husband's a lawyer." "Then he'll understand how serious this is," the officer replied. By the time the detective arrived, we had a full picture. Karen had forged HOA documents to claim my ranch was annexed. She approached multiple agents pretending to be the authorized seller of a distressed property. But her husband, David Whitfield, wasn't eager to help. The next day, he filed for divorce and was placed on leave from his law firm pending an internal review. The story exploded. Local news ran headlines. HOA president arrested in ranch fraud scheme. Footage of Karen with bolt cutters went viral. The HOA board voted unanimously to remove her. Reporters camped outside her house. Detectives later found a folder in her home office titled Riverside Redevelopment, with maps, emails, and a timeline to evict me. 3 weeks later, I sat in court as Karen faced the music. Gone was the polished suburban queen. She looked exhausted, aged, beaten. The prosecutor laid out the case in brutal clarity. Criminal trespass in the first degree, attempted fraud exceeding $50,000, filing a false police report. "How do you plead?" the judge asked. Karen's voice was barely audible. "Not guilty." The judge reviewed video, documents, buyer testimonies. His expression grew more severe with each piece of evidence. "Miss Whitfield," he said, "you're facing felony charges that could result in 15 years in prison and over $100,000 in fines." Karen staggered slightly. Her lawyer, not David, requested a recess. As we stepped out, I overheard her on the phone. "Mom, I need you to mortgage the house. Bail is $75,000. David froze our accounts." 2 months later came the final hearing. Karen took a plea deal: 8 years in state prison, $50,000 in fines, and a permanent restraining order barring her from coming within 500 feet of my land. As the judge delivered the sentence, Karen collapsed into her chair, sobbing. 8 years. I was trying to help the neighborhood. The judge's gavel hit like thunder. The defendant's actions show premeditated intent to defraud, deceive, and endanger. The value of the property she attempted to steal exceeds $3.2 million. Karen's mother wept silently in the gallery. Karen tried one last plea. "I have children. I've never been in trouble before." "Your children are adults," the judge replied. "And while you have no criminal record, this scheme was calculated and sophisticated." Her attorney stood. "My client wishes to make a statement of apology." "No," Karen screamed, rising so quickly her chair crashed behind her. "I don't apologize. That ranch is a blight. I did everyone a favor." The judge's eyes narrowed. "One more outburst and you'll be held in contempt." "I don't care," she screamed, makeup running down her cheeks. "Marcus Chen destroyed my life. My husband left. My kids disowned me. I lost everything because of him." "You lost everything," the judge replied coldly, "because of you." He nodded at the bailiffs. As they moved to escort her, Karen's knees gave out. They had to carry her out of the courtroom, her screams echoing through the hall.